Getting stuck in a rank feels like you're hitting a wall. You're grinding game after game, putting in the hours, but no matter what you do, you just can't seem to break through. We've all been there, but you're doing everything you've been told. You're watching replays. You're practicing in free play before you play ranked. You're even trying out new mechanics. Something's just not clicking. But here's the truth. If you're stuck, it's because you're missing something or a few crucial things. Today we're going to dive into 3 huge reasons why you're stuck in your rank, and more importantly, what you can actually do and actions you can take to rank up and break through that barrier. Number 1, bad rotations. One of the most talked about concepts in Rocket League, but literally the most misunderstood and misconstrued concept as well. Here's the thing, knowing what a rotation is and actually executing it properly in the heat of the moment are 2 very different things. A lot of players either rotate too late or they do the opposite, right? They rotate too early. If you're not timing it right or positioning yourself correctly, you're not really helping out your team. In fact, bad rotations often create more problems than they solve. How many times have you been caught out because you or your teammate rotated straight through the play, leaving the goal wide open? A lot. Here's how to fix it. We have to take a step back and look at the best players. They're not just rotating for the sake of it or because they're low boost. They're constantly reading the game, adjusting their positioning, and staying aware of what their teammates are doing. It's not just about going back post, it's about maintaining pressure while still being ready to defend. Next time you're playing, take a moment to think about your rotation. Are you really covering the space your team needs? Or are you just following a pattern, going through the motions without actually thinking about each thing? Start paying attention to where your teammates are, where the ball is likely to go, and where you're needed most on the field. It's not just about being in the right place, it's about being there at the right time and with purpose. A few tips I could give you regarding rotation is to watch your replays. And I know everyone and their mother says watch your replays, but they say it because it's probably the most valuable piece of advice I or any other YouTuber can give you. And it's because when you watch your replays, you can see exact mistakes you make. If you ask me to help you rank up, I don't know how you play. I've never seen you play. Every rank, every player makes different mistakes. So if you said, I'm champ, what do I do to rank up? I don't know what mistakes you make. Maybe you don't have good air control. Maybe you don't have good rotations. Maybe you don't have good ground control. There's a million different things I could tell you, but because I don't know how you play, I can't tell you anything that's actually going to be accurate. It might just be speculation on what the average player does in your rank, but if you watch or on replays, you can see exactly what you need to work on. Another huge tip I could give you guys is communication. First of all, I wouldn't recommend solo queuing if you're under GC. If you really have to, make sure you're using quick chat. A simple I got it when you're going for the kickoff, it can actually go a long way, especially if you're, in like plat or diamond, because a lot of times people don't know that left goes or who should go for the kickoff. So just saying maybe obvious things to you may not be so obvious to other people, and they can make a huge difference in how smoothly your team rotates, saying I got it when you're challenging a ball, or defending whenever you're waiting in net, letting them challenge. That's a huge one as well, especially if you're under Grand Champ. Once you get to the Grand Champ range, it's pretty understood who's going and who's not going, so communication isn't as big of a deal there. But if you're under that rank, it's a very big deal. And the last tip I can give you for this specific one is to practice with intent. When you're in a game, think about your rotations actively. Think about position in correlation to the net or to your teammates. Think about, am I in a good spot to actually help my team? Is the place I'm in going to benefit us? Is it hurting us? That's a really big one as well. Reason number 2, overcommitting. This is a mistake that can turn a close game into a loss in seconds. You see an opportunity, you dive in head first, but you didn't think it through. Maybe you're chasing a ball you shouldn't, or you're pushing up too far when your team isn't ready to back you up. Overcommitting is often driven by impatience or desperation, wanting to make something happen but not considering the risks. The result, you're left scrambling to recover and your opponents are handed a free goal on a silver platter. It's especially common when you're behind in a match, because everyone knows if you're down goals or you're low on time, you have to make risky plays to potentially get goals. But you feel the pressure to score, so you take the necessary risks, but those risks often backfire and end up you getting scored on. How do we fix it? Once again, we want to look at the high-level players. Higher level players know when to go all in and when to hold back. It's not just about hitting the ball, it's about knowing when to hit it and why. They understand that not every ball needs to be challenged, and that sometimes the best move is to rotate back and reset. It's about reading the play, predicting what the opponent will do, and understanding when the risk is worth it. If you're constantly finding yourself out of position or giving up easy goals, take a step back, literally and figuratively. Start being more selective with your challenges. Ask yourself, is this challenge really necessary? I really like Lethamir's green light theory he kind of made about when to challenge. I'd recommend watching Lethamir. I'll have him in the description as well. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen if I miss? If the answer is that it could lead to a goal against me, maybe it's better to rotate back and trust your teammates. Some tips I would give you guys for this specific issue is patience drills. Practice patience by playing 1v1. That's probably the best mode to improve. And make sure you're challenging when you're 100% sure you can win the ball. And that will really correlate over to 2v2. Communication with teammates. Let your teammates know when you're rotating back or holding your position. This can prevent double commits and unnecessary risks, but once again, I'd really recommend finding a teammate. You can join my Discord server, shameless plug. The next tip I'd give you is a risk assessment. In your next few games, try consciously assessing the risk of every challenge. You'll start to notice situations where holding back would have been the better choice. And then eventually you'll get to the point where you start holding back and then you start winning more games. And then you come back to this video and you say, thank you, Dice. You're the best coach I've ever met. The final reason number 3, poor boost management. This might sound basic, but it's something that holds a lot of players back. You're either wasting boost on unnecessary speed, or you're constantly starving yourself because you're not picking up pads. Too many players get tunnel vision, which often takes them out of the play. What happens when you're out of boost? You're forced to make weaker plays, miss critical saves, be out of position, fail to capitalize on scoring opportunities. The list goes on and on and on. Good boost management isn't just about grabbing as much boost as possible. It's about making sure you always have enough to make impactful plays when it counts, and it's staying in plays even when you're lower boost. How do we fix it? Once again, we look at the top players. They know when to conserve boost, when to use it, how to stay high boost without chasing the big boost pads all the time. They're constantly grabbing small pads while rotating, ensuring they stay in the play and are always ready to make a play. The key is efficiency, using just enough boost to get the job done and no more. Next time you're in a match, focus on staying above 50 boosts as much as possible. You'll be surprised at how much better you can position and how much more confident you'll feel in challenging and defending. Remember, it's not about always having 100 boosts. It's about having enough to make the right plays when you need to. Some tips I would give for this specific issue is number 1, boost pathing. Learn and practice efficient boost pathing, especially in free play. Understand where the small pads are and incorporate them into your rotations. Look at them in free play. Practice just going through them over and over and over again. The second one is boost starving opponents. When you have control of the game, try boost starving your opponents by taking the big pads on their side. This will force them to make bad plays or rotations, or it could just put them on really low boost and you can keep throwing shots at them and it will just make them in a worse and worse position. The last one is replay focus. I know I already mentioned this, but watch replays with an emphasis on boost usage after you're done looking at the other portions. Look for moments where poor boost management led to missed opportunities or goals against you. That's all I have in this video. 3 big reasons why you're stuck in your rank and how to fix them. Breaking through to the next level isn't just about mechanics. It's about being smarter and making better decisions on the field. If this video helped you out, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future tips. And if you want to chat more about improving your game, join my Discord server. You can message me there directly. Links in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.